Ready to get into it. We ready.
2020 has to be the worst year of this decade. I know there are still 5 years left. I just don't see what could be worse than Kobe Bryant, Pop Smoke, Chadwick Boseman, and King Von all passing away in the same year. Well, King Von kinda had to go.
Satan's greatest soldiers was King Von.
Yeah.
The entire world was on lockdown all because of COVID-19. Kids were mostly just playing video games like NBA 2K, Call of Duty, and Fortnite. It was hard getting a PlayStation 5 because of the scalpers taking all the consoles. Whether you were a wrestling fan or a sports fan, you had to stay right at home to watch the shows or games. To this day, it's still crazy to me that there was a WrestleMania with no fans in attendance. WrestleMania 36 that year ended up being a good show with Drew winning the WWE Championship, the cinematic match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt in the Firely Funhouse, Braun Strowman taking the Universal title from Gilbert, and Edge wrestling in his first singles match after 9 years since retiring back in 2011. Now, WWE programming for Raw and SmackDown was getting kind of boring afterwards for me. Video was just experimenting different type of bullshit on TV while having zombies appear, Otis winning Money in the Bank, and Rey Mysterio getting his eyeball popped out. This was when Vinny needed his golden boy to save the WWE during the pandemic era. Roman Reigns was supposed to headline WrestleMania 36 to face Goldberg for the Universal Championship. He backed out of it because of health concerns tied to the COVID-19 pandemic and his history with leukemia. At this point in time, Roman had been playing the big dog persona for 5 years. Big dog Roman Reigns was the most hated wrestler in all of wrestling. He wasn't must-see TV. In Vinny's eyes, he was the face of WWE. But the fans didn't see him as that until one piece that shifted the entire wrestling landscape. We had no choice but to acknowledge Roman Reigns. Alright bruh. Braun Strowman vs Bray Wyatt was the main event for SummerSlam 2020. Braun and Bray had been feuding over the Universal Championship for the majority of the summer. The tagline for SummerSlam that year was, "You'll never see it coming." Bray Wyatt ends up defeating Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. After the match, Roman Reigns makes his return by attacking The Fiend and then Braun Strowman. Roman comes back with a whole new attitude and pearly white veneers, so yeah, WWE wasn't lying with the tagline for SummerSlam that year. Roman Reigns was back and raised the Universal title to signal he was taking back what was his. At first, I wasn't sure if the nigga was a bad guy or still the big dog. What confirmed Roman being a heel was his alliance with Paul Heyman. This alliance was teased years before during that never-ending saga between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. The next PLE was Payback, and it was going to be a triple threat match. Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Braun and Bray signed the contract for the match. Roman didn't sign the contract until during the match after Braun and Bray beat the hell out of each other. Roman won the Universal title and was back at the top spot after being gone for 4 months. This isn't the big dog anymore, this is the tribal chief. A tribal chief is the traditional or elected leader of the tribe or clan, serving as the primary decision maker and representative of their community. Roman Reigns is the head of the table, the one destined to keep that championship to provide for his family. This is where the story gets real interesting. A #1 contenders match was held on SmackDown to face Roman for the Universal Championship at Clash of Champions. Sheamus, Matt Riddle, Baron Corbin, and Roman's cousin, Jey Uso. Jey Uso wins the match, which I didn't expect, but the story is right there. Jey Uso is excited, looking all jolly because he gets to face his big cousin. Roman said he is proud of him, the whole family is, because he earned it. The funny thing about that is, the family was most likely proud of Jey. This nigga damn sure wasn't. This was a completely different Roman Reigns. Jey calls Roman out about his attitude. Jey said Roman changed his phone number, couldn't even get in contact with him. Roman's explanation for all of that is because the family depends on him to keep them at the top. Jey couldn't handle being the Universal Champion in the face of WWE. He's just a twin that always depended on his brother, Jimmy Uso. Jey tells Roman, what if he's wrong about all of that? People's not going to ask him, which twin are you? They're going to say, you're the guy that beat Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. When you thought the segment was over and Jey's about to walk away with all the confidence in the world, Roman comes in flying with a Superman punch. He tells Jey Uso, you're going to take your payday, you're going to take the ass whooping that comes with it, because you would never take my place at the head of the table. Roman was dead serious on what he said to Jey when we get to their match. Roman shows up in a new look. All he did was dish the shield vest. That was enough in itself. Romans get to being the shit out of Jey, telling Jey to acknowledge him. That's all Roman cares about. It was more than just trying to retain the Universal title. Jimmy comes running in to try and throw in the towel. Jey repeatedly tells him not to. Jimmy acknowledges Roman. Roman doesn't want Jimmy to acknowledge him. He only cares about Jey acknowledging him. Jimmy eventually throws in a towel to call the match. Roman is still the Universal Champion. On SmackDown, Roman is still wanting Jey to acknowledge him. Jey wants another shot at the Universal title since he didn't get pinned by Roman. So Roman gives Jey another shot at Hell in a Cell. This is going to be inside Hell in a Cell, and the stipulation inside of that, if Jay loses, he has no choice but to fall in line and acknowledge Roman. Roman is still in the process of changing during his Tribal Chief run. He shows up to Hell in a Cell with a golden glove. Roman's golden glove was his version of the Infinity Gauntlet. The same thing happens with Roman beating the shit out of Jay. It was an I Quit match. Roman was trying to go for the kill on his cousin. Jimmy gets involved in the match, trying to tell Roman to chill out. This is Josh. You know it's real when the government names are being said. Jimmy's crying, trying to talk some sense into Roman. Roman starts crying himself. Jimmy told Roman whatever he's going through, he knows him and Jay got him. Roman's like, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm sorry. Jimmy's like, it's alright, Oos. Him and Roman goes for the dap, telling each other I love you, and then Roman puts Jimmy in the guillotine. Roman has the hole locked in firm because look at Jimmy's face. He's reaching for Jay help, so Jay says I quit to make Roman let go. Roman tricked both of these niggas with them fake ass tears. Now Jay has to fall in line. Roman's dad and uncle was there and gives Roman the Ula Fala to represent him as the Tribal Chief of the family. Jay finally acknowledges Roman and attacks Daniel Bryan after his match to show he stands with Roman. Roman's next feud is against Kevin Owens. The lore behind this was Jay was making himself some coffee. Kevin makes a joke saying, you're getting coffee for Roman? Isn't that Heyman's job? This is why Kevin Owens ended up beefing with the Bloodline for 4 years. So word gets back to Roman about what Kevin Owens said. The joke wasn't serious at all. Roman pulls a cannon start, manipulates Jay to go handle Kevin Owens. Roman is going to face Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series in a champion versus champion match. This was more like a side quest until Roman gets back to Kevin Owens. You would think he's the #1 guy since he's holding the most prestigious title in the company, but that wasn't the case because Roman was actually the #1 guy while holding a Blueberry Championship. Roman tells Drew WWE is his. The WWE called him to come back. He's just the #2 guy, but he'll always be his favorite #2. Drew couldn't say nothing to that because it was true in kayfabe and behind the scenes. At Survivor Series, Roman Reigns is the superior champion defeating Drew McIntyre. Back to the Kevin Owens feud. Jay can't take care of Kevin Owens while Roman watches from backstage, so that leads to Roman having to take care of it. This feud gets personal with Roman disrespecting Kevin Owens' family. The nigga introduced himself to Kevin Owens' family while whooping him backstage.
I'm Roman Reigns.
Mind you, this started over a coffee joke. Roman has the advantage over Kevin Owens since Jay is his right hand man to help him out. So Kevin Owens challenges for the Universal title. Kevin Owens loses at TLC because of Jay. Kevin Owens gets a rematch on SmackDown in a steel cage match. He gets handcuffed by Jay, which allows Roman to escape the cage to retain the Universal Championship. Kevin Owens was still trying to go after Roman, so Adam Pearce gives him another shot at the Royal Rumble. Roman didn't like that from Pearce, so he starts pressing him and then has a singles match against him. Adam Pearce being a former NWA World Champion, this nigga has no squabble. Roman's having his way with him the entire time, pause, until Kevin Owens stops the match. They both have an exchange of words via satellite, and Roman goes back to disrespecting Kevin Owens' family. Roman tells Kevin Owens if he thinks he got a chance against him, he's a fool. If he's a fool, his father is a fool. That means his grandfather is a fool. Kevin Owens starts talking about his father and grandfather. Roman wasn't trying to hear no sob story. This nigga cuts the TV right off. The match stipulation at the Royal Rumble is a last man standing match. Kevin Owens is not staying down for nothing during the match, so Roman has to run his ass over with a golf cart to try and keep him down. There is a botch during the spot where Roman gets handcuffed and they were struggling to get him out. I remember the ref had to reset the count to where Kevin Owens couldn't win. Roman manages to get out the cuffs, puts Kevin Owens in the guillotine, and makes him pass out to be the last man standing. The winner of the 2021 Royal Rumble is Edge. He has the right to challenge for any world title at WrestleMania. In Roman's head, he was the main event, so he tells Edge to choose him to face at WrestleMania. Edge is just waiting until the time is right to make his decision. Elimination Chamber is the next PLE. The winner inside the SmackDown Chamber match will face Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Daniel Bryan wins the Elimination Chamber match. Roman pulls a Batista in 2010. He does the Universal title match after the Chamber match and proceeds to retain the Universal title. After the match, Edge spears Roman and points at the WrestleMania sign. Roman Reigns versus Edge at WrestleMania 37. At first, we all thought it was going to be just them two. Daniel Bryan gets another shot for the Universal title at Fastlane, with Edge being the special guest enforcer. Daniel Bryan gets screwed during the match with Jay's involvement and the ref being knocked out. He ends up getting added to Roman vs Edge match at WrestleMania to make it a triple threat match. Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan are just fighting and cutting their own promos on each other up until WrestleMania. Fans were back for that year's WrestleMania, but there was a limit due to COVID. The match with Roman, Edge, and Daniel Bryan was unpredictable because there was a story for every single one of them to walk out as Universal Champion. All three men came back from a situation that could have ended their careers. It looked like Edge was going to win. Daniel Bryan was out by getting hit with a concerto by Edge. Jay gets involved to where Edge had to get him out the match. Roman capitalized off that, hits a concerto on Edge. He pulled Edge onto Daniel Bryan, stacked them together, pins both men to win the match. Roman walks out of WrestleMania in dominating fashion and tells the people back home to acknowledge him. Roman claims nobody wants to step up to him after stacking and smashing Edge and Daniel Bryan. Pause. Jason Statham was the one to step up to Roman. Roman didn't take Cesaro serious. He didn't think Cesaro was on his level or done anything to deserve a title shot. Roman issues the challenge to Daniel Bryan instead. Roman wants to give Daniel Bryan one last shot, and if he loses, the nigga is gone from SmackDown. Daniel Bryan accepts the challenge. Roman debuts a new theme song on SmackDown when facing Daniel Bryan. It felt like Roman was a final boss in a video game when he came out. Daniel Bryan was about to get packed up. If this was 2014 with the Yes Movement, he probably would have had a chance. Daniel Bryan's contract was about to expire, so this match wrote him off TV. Jimmy Uso returns from being injured. He's asking Jay what is wrong with him, and when did he become such a bitch being Roman's servant? Mind you, Jay lost both Universal title matches to Roman because of Jimmy. Jimmy was the one begging for Jay's help when put in the guillotine by Roman. Calling Jay a bitch is crazy. Cesaro defeats Roman's Kryptonite and Seth Rollins on SmackDown. That win is enough to earn a shot at the Universal Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. Roman Reigns vs Cesaro was a hard-hitting match. I don't think anybody expected Roman to lose on a B-level PLE. Cesaro lost, but still looked strong in defeat. Roman wants to bring the tag team championships back to the family. The Usos faced the Mysterios for the tag titles, but didn't win due to Roman's interference. A short feud between Roman and Rey Mysterio starts when Roman launches Dominic out the ring. Rey as a father should have shot this nigga. Instead, Rey wants to have a wrestling match for the Universal Championship. The Hell in a Cell is the next PLE. Roman has the juice in WWE. He didn't want to wrestle at the event, so the match happened 2 days before on SmackDown. Throughout Roman's 4-year title reign, Rey has to be the weakest nigga that Roman faced. Rey gets bullied in the match like he normally does and loses to Roman. Roman's next challenger is Edge when he makes his return since getting hit with the concerto at WrestleMania. The dream match between Roman and Edge is finally going to happen at the Money in the Bank PLE. The pandemic era is coming to an end, with fans being welcomed back to attend shows again starting on July 16th, with SmackDown being the first show. That's the end of Roman Reigns' run in the pandemic era. The character change from Roman and the run that came with it was needed during that time period. Out of all the eras in WWE, this is one I don't wish to go back to.
Acknowledge me.
Alright. Thank y'all for watching. I'm so glad he stopped at this and then just covered the whole thing. That would have been the whole 4 years. We don't want that. Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do one more video. I think 2 videos should be good.